Some of the important lessons are to respect your mother and your father, to treat people like you would want to be treated, accept people the way they are and understand them, mainly just understand, and be willing to change, and those are probably some of the most important things. I think the one that sticks in my mind the most is my grandfather used to have an old car, and we used to ride in the Grape Day Parade here in Escondido, and the Apple Day Parade in Julian, and the Christmas Parade. And I can always remember being in the front of the car with my grandpa and just enjoying that, and it was always a lot of fun. And that's probably one of the most pleasant memories that I have. Favorite family holidays really would have to be probably Christmas, because especially as I've gotten older, anytime I can get together with family, it's very important. And Christmas is one of those where you get to spend a lot more time enjoying your family and your grandkids and you. When she was growing up, okay, your mom was she was good. She was a lot of fun. She was always the one who was usually getting into things and pretty much do things the way she wanted to do them, even though we sometimes have to slow her down a little bit about it. But your mom was a good person, and she still is. Well, I grew up, I came here when I was 3 years old from Germany and came here when I was 3 years old, lived in Escondido all my life. I'm in Valley Center now, but most of my life I've spent in Escondido. And went to elementary and Escondido High School, and I enjoyed it very much. I have an awful lot of people that I know in town because I have been here for so long. And I've developed an awful lot of friendships over the years with people just in town. Teenager? Well, I used to work for Aunt Emma's Pancake House. I was the all-you-could-eat fish fry guy on Friday night that went around and made sure that everybody had enough fish. And I worked for Jack in the Box. I used to stand out in the street and wave at people and try to talk them into coming into Jack in the Box. And I worked for Sears for over 20 years, starting with the old store downtown, selling shoes in the shoe department. And so I've done quite a bit, but I've been basically a salesman all my life. Okay, well, I kind of gave you the jobs in the past. My current job is the manager of an appliance parts center here in Escondido, and we deal with anybody who needs to repair their major appliances. That's what we sell, and I manage the store, and I have been now for over 20 years. Oh gosh, when I was younger, I had no idea. Sometimes I thought I wouldn't even be around. Okay, when I was younger, I always liked to talk, so I always figured I would probably end up being a salesman or something like that. Although I think any boy when they're young wants to be a fireman or a policeman or something like that, but that didn't excite me too much. I think I always wanted to be some sort of a salesperson or dealing with the public because I enjoy people. Okay, well, in high school, because I didn't really play much sports when I was younger, but in high school I played football, and I ran track. I was a sprinter, ran the 100 and the 220 and the 440 relay, and They always told me that for a white guy, I was pretty fast. And as I got older, I liked, well, I do bowl, and I still bowl, and I bowl pretty good for a guy my age. And I used to play softball a lot, but then I got to the point where my knees wouldn't allow me to play softball anymore. So no more softball, but I still bowl pretty well. So those are my most favorite things. I would love to play softball again, but with phony knees, I don't know that I'd be able to do that. My favorite classes in school, all the easy ones like music and, well, I took Spanish. I enjoyed that, but that's because the teacher was really cute. And, and mainly music. I was in the musicals that we had in high school, and I sang in a performing musical group, the Notables. And so I was pretty into that kind of stuff between playing football and running track and that. So I basically went to school so that I could be involved in all of these other things.
Military?
Yes, I did. When I got out of high school and I was going to junior college, I basically was involved in the first lottery system that they had, and I was number 13, which was not very lucky. And so I quickly signed up for the National Guard in Vista. I was a tanker. I was on the big tanks that you see, the M48A1 tanker. I was a tank commander, and I was ended up as a sergeant. And I spent 6.5 years serving my country in the National Guard. Getting drafted and being sent to Vietnam was pretty easy. Basic training is everything they say it is. It's very tough, it's very difficult. I lost about 15 pounds during basic training, but it gives you a different perspective. I mean, you come from being in high school and a little bit of junior college, and then all of a sudden your life is very structured. They teach you respect, and they teach you to work together as a team, which that's a good thing. Well, again, the only time I was really had a daily life per se was when I was in training, in basic training and advanced training, and it's all very structured. Once I was done with that and came home and got back into normal life, in the National Guard you only spend 1 weekend a month and then 2 weekends in the summer actually doing what you do, which was being in tanks. And being a tank commander, I was in charge of a tank with a crew of 3 other Army guys, and we went out to Fort Irwin, which is just northeast of Barstow, and this is where we would train on the weekends, and then two weeks during the summer, and we would work on maneuvers and maintenance of tanks and basically how to do tank warfare.